Peace. What's up? Phil James coming back to you for the third time today, and no, that's not a numerology reference when referring to myself. Just saying. The Sacramento Bee, as you can see here at the top of the screen. Did not mean to do that. All right, yeah, let's stop. All right, the big one could leave 250 to 400,000 quake refugees in California. Where will they go? Well, that's strange. This article, always is. It's almost as if they're giving it to us before it happens. They do it all the time. They're not going to stop, and it's still happening. So we will watch this simulation here in 1 second, but I want to go ahead and read something. This article came out June 3rd, 2018. When a catastrophic earthquake hits California, buildings will topple and potentially hundreds could be killed. But what gets less attention is the wrenching aftermath of such a huge timber, which could leave whole neighborhoods torched by fires, uninhabitable, and hundreds of thousands of people without a home. Officials are grappling with where all these quake refugees would go. All right. So they're saying if it's a Mag 7 or higher, 400,000 could potentially be without homes. I'm not going to read all that because it's a pretty long article, but what I will do is put a link in the description, but you guys already knew that. So we're going to go ahead and check out this simulation here, see what we can see. Why not? Well, that's dramatic. It is. Now you have to remember, when they're simulating or showing this earthquake and these timblers and these aftershocks and whatnot, by them doing this, they're putting it in the minds of everybody, all the sleeping masses, all the people out there that wouldn't normally talk about these things like you and I will, but they're putting it out there, making it relevant in your subconscious or in your mind. Now, this big one has been referred to numerous times in the past, from the beginning of this year. And actually, it's been before that. They've been talking about it for more or less the past decade. But they've spiked the amounts of articles that they put out on this topic, and it seems that they're trying to make it fresh in everybody's minds, trying to make it to where everybody's thinking about it. So like I said, once again, there will be a link in the description if you'd like to come read this article. It's pretty big, and I really don't feel like reading it, and this video right here is already going to be on the longer side because this is going to cover all the earth disasters or natural disasters and catastrophic weather events for over the weekend. So this is anything you may have missed over this weekend. That's the easiest way to say it. Now, I was thinking about watching that video, but we're not going to. Link will be in the description. All right, so since we was talking about the big one and, all the earthquakes, and I've made it very, very clear that Hawaii has had numerous earthquakes, and it's actually become quite ridiculous the extent of the earthquakes that have been occurring in Hawaii in and around the Big Island. And then not to mention that the northern smaller island of Hawaii, one of the northern smaller islands, literally received, what was it? Like a year's worth of rain in 24 hours or maybe more. So absolute insanity. But anyways, as you can tell here by the title of this article, 9,900 earthquakes unleashed on Hawaii in the last 30 days. That, my friends, is absolutely outrageous. I don't know about you guys, but 9,900 earthquakes. Now, the past 3 videos, there's been numerology in it, seems like. So, once again, 9900, 99, or, the as above, so below. The inversion, the mirroring, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, 30 days, 9,900 earthquakes. Absolutely unbelievable. The biggest of which was a 5.5, and that struck yesterday or the day before. CNN. From earthquakes to seeping lava, Hawaii's Big Island has seen plenty from nature since the first eruptions of Kilauea Volcano. And the lava keeps spewing, swallowing homes and igniting fears of more destruction to come. Here's what the disaster looks like. By the numbers, 9,900 earthquakes. Between May 4th and Monday, there have been nearly 10,000 earthquakes, according to the USGS. That is ridiculous. I mean, you know, 9,900 earthquakes, you know, that's just so ridiculous. But yeah, so almost 10,000 earthquakes. The Big Island usually gets its fair share of quakes, but activity in the last 30 days has far outpaced its historical monthly average of 1,000. Yeah, I would say so. You know, it's literally 10 times more than what they normally receive. Yes, there's a volcano spewing, and you know, haters or deniers will say that, but here's the problem. Kilauea, my friends, has been erupting since when? I've mentioned it how many times? Well, here, the answer to which. Kilauea has been erupting since 1983, so the monthly 1,000 earthquake monthly average, you know, was occurring with the volcano erupting since 1983. So, you know what I mean? That's a lot different still, regardless. And now looking at it, Kilauea is erupting much more intensely, much more savagely, if you will. So, 30,000 feet, an ash plume rises from the crater within the Kilauea volcano summit caldera on May 9th, 2018 at the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. The tallest ash plume at the summit of Kilauea volcano reached 30,000 feet above sea level, the USGS says. 117 homes have now been destroyed, like in the 4 weeks that this has been erupting. The number is said to grow. You know, it's not done. It's still erupting, and earthquakes are still occurring. So more homes will probably be added to that list. 7.7 square miles lava burns across a residential road near Pahoa, and yeah, it's just, this is absolutely catastrophic. It looks like hell down in Hawaii. So once again, link will be in the description for you guys. All right, so on to the next article. Is volcanic activity on the rise? And if so, where's next? In November, Mount Agung on Bali erupted, sending plumes of smoke and ash 30,000 feet into the air and shutting the popular Holiday Island's only airport down. It doesn't say down though. Shutting the popular Holiday Island's only airport. More than 400 flights a day were canceled until Denpasar reopened. Not sure what these words are, these names, so whatever if I'm slaughtering it, I apologize. Alright, so last month eyes turned to Hawaii, where Kilauea is said to be continuously simmering blue violently, spewing out lava flows, cracking the earth, and spitting out rock projectiles. The volcano remains on high alert. Well, yeah, because it's still erupting, and it's still being slammed with earthquakes, as you found out in the last article. So, yeah, definitely high alert. I paused it.
What's up? On my way to Dad's appointment. Listen, I'll call you in a minute. Phil's making a video, okay? I love you. Is it urgent?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll talk to you in a minute. I love you. Bye.
Well, thanks. I was pausing it regardless because I had a truck too.
Oh, right.
And then I heard your phone was ringing, so I was like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Now Fuego in Gautemala is the latest to erupt. All right, unpausing right now. Now, Fuego in Guatemala is the latest to erupt, killing at least 25 people, which actually it's now at 69 people. More mirroring, more numerology, but I actually believe that this volcano is erupting because we can get eyewitness videos from the people there. You know what I mean? News and media, what I'm going off right now, they like to exaggerate or exploit things for certain gains. You know what I mean? So you never can know exactly if you're like getting the actual facts. But when it comes to these types of disasters, I like to still go off the mainstream and bring it to you guys what's being said. And then if I find other stuff, you know, I fill you in. But so it's at 69 people now in Guatemala, and it's the latest to erupt. It's been spitting out stuff here and there, and you know, injured hundreds, and it's the most violent eruption that Fuego has had in 40 years. Very explosive. It was, you know, quite the eruption. 3 days of national mourning have been declared after the volcano hurled rocks, smoke, and ash into the sky. El Rodeo, a village nearby, has been all but destroyed by a flow of lava. So basically it's been destroyed. I don't like when people say all but. It's like everything except what you actually are trying to say. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It's been all but destroyed. So it's been rebuilt? Like, come on. You know what I mean? I don't like that saying. Are volcanoes getting more active? In the Pacific Ring of Fire, yes, they are clearly. Are they in general? It seems that earthquakes and volcanic activity are both on the rise. And it's not hard to see that, you know what I mean? It's become very obvious at this point. So, according to the National Museum of Natural History's Global Volcanism Program, more than 1,500 volcanoes on the planet have erupted at some point in the last 11,500 years. The current geological epoch, otherwise known as the Holocene period, today some 15 are erupting, a figure common for any given point in modern history. Alright, well, we're not going to read this. Eruptions are happening all the time. Some make the news headlines and others don't. Yeah. See, the thing is though, it's weird because these earthquakes and volcanoes are all happening at once, and it's all happening right around the Pacific Ring of Fire. So that's why this is, you know, that's why I'm pointing this out. And overall this year, no, volcanic activity might be on pace with years previously. There might be years that are 2 times higher by this point, you know what I mean? But the point is, it seems that the Pacific Ring of Fire is going absolutely insane. And then on top of that, it seems that nobody really knows what's happening with the earthquakes and the volcanoes. It's quite intense. So once again, link will be in the description. I'm not going to read all of this, but to me, yes, I would say that the volcanic activity and earthquakes and the cracks and the shifting of the earth below our feet is definitely increasing and changing a lot and very drastically. So keep it in mind, right? All right, so speaking of Fuego volcano, let's look at some pictures of this volcano. On June 3rd, Fuego volcano erupted in Guatemala, sending a hot pyroclastic flow and heavy ash down its slopes onto nearby villages, killing at least, what a surprise, 33 people, according to the head of Guatemala's disaster agency via the Associated Press. Fuego, one of the most active volcanoes in Central America, continued to send up smaller eruptions today, hampering efforts by rescuers who struggled to reach country residents stranded by ash and mud flows. Now, yeah, this is quite the eruption. This was an explosive eruption. This is blowing all kinds of ash, all kinds of hot pyroclastic type flows and muddy, warm, thick nastiness all over the place, and it's moving fast. So, or it was. Check out this picture right here. This is, like I said, this is going to be all for pictures. There is already a link copied. A link will be in the description, so you can come look at these pictures for yourself if you would like, or read the article if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and show the pictures, so that's what we'll start doing right now. So, looking at this, I like this picture because right up here at the top kind of makes me feel like that is electromagnetic manipulation in the sky directly above the erupting volcano. How about that? Is that what it is? Who knows? Could it be? Very well, possibly could be, yes. Now, whatever though, right? We'll carry on with the pictures. Now, that's one of 30, so we're going to go ahead and go through these. I hope everybody's cool with that, and I hope everybody sticks around for the video. Like I said, my average watch time is pretty low, so, you know, people normally don't stick around, but if you do, I'd greatly appreciate it. So we're going to check out some pictures. Dude standing there watching in the distance as the ash erupts all over the place. They claim it went 30,000 feet, so pretty high, you know what I mean? Where jets fly. The airport was shut down. You know, it's causing quite the delay, quite the issue down here in Gautemala. So definitely a big time volcano eruption. You know, we got people down here covered in ash and soot, covered up with the mud, the hot pyroclastic flows. Like I said, the body count right now from last I knew was at 69 people. More numerology and mirroring and whatnot, as above so below type stuff. But then not only that, but they had 17 of which 17 out of the 69 had been identified. So it's not looking too good right now. And obviously there's plenty more that will come. You know what I mean? You have to remember, at this point, it's not just lava. It's not just, you know what I mean, lava and earthquakes that cause the death here or the loss of life. You also have to remember we have sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide spewing out because it's a volcano. And then we have all the ash, which makes the air even more toxic and worse and harder to breathe. Kills all kinds of animals, which you will see in this video here of some of the pictures taken. So, you know, it's definitely a big deal. Ash all over the trees. Poor puppy dog, you know. Look at that. I think that's that hot pyroclastic flow stuff. Now, when I hear that term, I automatically assume very thick, hot mud that is just oozing down the side of a hill. That's what I assume. And then when looking at a picture like this and you see all this, you know, rubble, all this destruction, and all that muddy look to, you know, the ash and mud look, that's what I assume that is. Like, I mean, I guess that could just be ash too, I don't know, but it looks like muddy, thick, sooty nastiness that just oozes down the side of a mountain, or the side of a volcano in this case, you know, and just devours everything. Does it destroy it? Well, that could be considered destroyed right there in my book, you know, but not like lava. I mean, it's kind of different is the way it looks. I don't know if that's right though. That might just be ash afterwards. I don't know. So hot pyroclastic flows, if I think about it, I'll throw it in at the end of this video. Maybe I'll throw it in right after this clip, but I don't know. You'll know though. All right, we'll continue. Poor birds dying because of all the ash. You know, like, these poor animals can't breathe. We can put bandanas on our face. These poor animals have to suffer through it, you know. So apparently there's a lot of hurt, a lot of injured people, a lot of death, and like I said, the number is bound to increase just due to everything else that's taking place. So, you know, this right here, why would you ever show that picture? I don't know. I mean, to me, that doesn't seem like a picture that you'd want to show. But whatever, you know, I guess you want to get a point across that this is devastating and a horrifying event taking place in Gautemala. So maybe that's why. I don't know. A chicken being saved by a cop or a policia agent. what else we got? The summit, the volcano actually erupting. That might be the pyroclastic flow right there. Actually, that's what I would guess. Cops running. Look at this. Look at this dude. What is he doing? Looks like he's trying to make ash angels. Ash angels. That's what that looks like. Look at that arm. Like, look at that arm. Right there. See it right here? It's like he's making ash angels. Whatever. It's kind of funny though, whatever. Comic relief. Hot pyroclastic flows rushing down the side. This stuff was moving very fast. And then you have the military, of course, on the scene. So, yeah, once again, I will throw in the link. It's already copied. It will be in the description below. There's probably going to be quite a few links down there. But I will keep them in order. And if I think about it, I'll even label them. So if there's a specific article that you did want to read, it should be labeled down below, because I am keeping track of the order I am going in. So be sure to check it out. Alright, just because I wanted to be absolutely for sure before sharing and putting up a video, I went ahead and looked up pyroclastic flow, also known as pyroclastic density, current, or a pyroclastic cloud, is a fast-moving current of hot gas and volcanic matter, collectively known as tephra, that moves away from a volcano, reaching speeds of up to 700 kilometers per hour or 430 miles per hour. The gases can reach temperatures of about 1,000 degrees Celsius or 1,830 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that's pretty intense. So we're going to go ahead and check out what it looks like, see what we can see. You know, we might learn something. So that's what we're going to do here. Might as well check out the first picture. So I'm assuming that was a pyroclastic flow that is dried, you know, and hardened and gone through its life cycle, I guess you could call it. So yeah, that's basically what we was looking at around those cars in my mind. You know, that looked like a pyroclastic flow to me. Now, because that grayish, sooty, nasty, muddy look, that's what I think that was. So I think that was accurate. So cool. That's a weird picture. But yeah, you know, this is no joke. This is serious. You know, this is we're having crazy volcanic activity right now. We're having crazy amounts of earthquakes and crazy amounts of geoengineered storms here in the U.S. So keep your eyes on it, guys. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? Sorry the video's so long. Continue to stick around and watch, because this is updating on all the storms that I like to cover and everything that's been happening since last week. So stick around. Alright, copying the link right now for you guys. Now, Guatemalan volcano eruption, death toll rises to 69, says the authorities. According to the National Institute of Forensic Sciences, it has received 69 bodies, and only 17 of them have so far been identified. That's not good. The volcano Fuego, located nearly 25 miles west of Gautemala City, erupted on Sunday. The National Coordination for Disaster Reduction of Guatemala earlier announced that there were 65 victims. Now, we're going to go ahead and check out this video right quick. Alright, so pretty insane. You just see people driving away like crazy, you know what I mean? So here's one of the actual eruptions, the explosive like eruption that takes place. So check this out.
Now we can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was bigger than the.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is, pretty intense stuff. As you saw, there will be a link in the description for you. And we will, or you can come watch these videos if you'd like. We're going to go ahead and cover the next story on Gautemala, the Fuego volcano. So, 1 second. Toll rises in Gautemala volcano as more bodies are recovered. Now, oh no, sorry. 1 second. All right, here we go. Let's try that again. All right. Give you a couple quick pictures. Same one. That's a little different. No worries. But yeah, rescue workers pulled more bodies Monday from under the dust and rubble left by an explosive eruption of Gautemala's Fuego volcano, bringing the death toll to at least 69. Of them, 17 have been identified so far, said Garcia, head of National Institute of Forensic Sciences. In addition, there are 46 people injured, most of them seriously, more than 1.7 million being hit by the disaster, including 3,271 ordered evacuated and 1,787 in shelters in the departments of, not trying that, all right. So, the 3,763 meter or 12,346 foot volcano erupted early Sunday, spewing out towering plumes of ash and a hail of fiery rock fragments with scalding mud. Authorities had warned the death toll could rise after searches resumed for survivors in communities on the mountain's southern flank. After an initial toll of 25 dead, it was revised upwards within hours as bodies were recovered from villages razed by the tumbling mud. Yeah, they were having a really hard time getting into the base of the volcano and all those villages that didn't have time to escape that pyroclastic flow that we just covered that goes up to like 430 miles per hour. That is insanity, okay? So this is an actual catastrophe. You know what I mean? All kinds of dead animals, all kinds of people getting killed, and the body count could very well go even higher. So, not looking good, people. Link in the description. On to the next. Entire families buried as Guatemalans battle to recover the dead after volcano eruption. A sudden violent eruption from Guatemala's Fuego volcano spewed a fiery mix of ash, lava, and gases that left residents nearby with little time to evacuate in a deadly disaster that has killed 69 people. The death toll from Guatemala's National Institute of Forensic Sciences could rise as rescuers struggled to reach the towns that were overrun by the scalding hot, extremely fast-moving mud. That was me that added that, in case you were trying to read along. So, yeah, dazed survivors covered in ash and some with blood trudged through their destroyed neighborhoods. Many were shocked and sobbing, wondering what happened to their loved ones. Residents flee El Rodeo village after the Fuego volcano erupted. The Fuego volcano unleashed fast-moving pyroclastic flow, a nasty mix of ash, rock, and volcanic gases that can be much more dangerous than lava. Pyroclastic flows can race down a volcano at hundreds of kilometers per hour, much faster than people or even cars. And they're known to destroy nearly everything in their path, according to the USGS. So there's a couple pictures. Entire towns were engulfed by thick, heavy ash, blocking roads and leaving behind steaming debris that rescuers had trouble navigating. The heat from the ground was so intense that the soles of some firefighters' boots were melting and tearing off as they were having to walk on wooden planks. Now that's intense. Kind of reminds me of 9/11. You know, for a full 4 weeks after 9/11, the basements had cherry molten red lava-like steel in them. So the firefighters at Ground Zero had the soles of their boots melting to the ground. This is very similar. So keep that in mind. Walking on wooden planks, it is very difficult. It is very, very difficult due to the fact that it's very, very hot. He's very, very descriptive, isn't he? Said Mario, not trying his last name, a volunteer firefighter. The soil is very unstable. We cannot be walking around. The shoes, they've been completely destroyed because of the heat. Firefighters were also having difficulty breathing in the hazardous conditions. I believe it. Yeah, so it's looking insane. Alright, so I'll show the last of these pictures here on this one. Talking about house was buried with my entire family inside. So far 17 people have died, been identified. At least 15 people have been hospitalized, including 12 children, some of whom suffered severe burns, the nation's health ministry said. Alright. Show some of the pictures here. Alright. Once again, there will be a link in the description for you. We can't forget we have severe flooding still going on all over DC, Pennsylvania, Virginia area. So here's this.
After days of rain, though, our region's not only waterlogged, but recovered from a lot of damage. You saw the debris in the water there, and you see it here as well. Downed trees, washed out roads, rivers and streams are still rising. Fox 9's Anjali Hemphill is live from the waterfront in Georgetown. And what a difference 24 hours makes, Anjali.
Well, Jim, weather-wise, it's a beautiful night in D.C. Not a raindrop in sight, a lot of people out walking around. But if you're at the Georgetown waterfront, you'll immediately be reminded of the wet weather we've had over the last 2 weeks. Take a look. That is where most people are usually walking along right now. That's right where the ice rink is set up during the winter time. And it's a popular spot for people enjoying the waterfront. Right now, completely closed off. As you can see, several inches of water have lapped up onto the sidewalk there, lapping up against the floodgates that have been put down as well. And Hanover, you can see why. This is the Potomac River, looking very unrecognizable right now, moving a lot faster than we're used to. Rapids out there full of debris, and that's because the river is already 3 feet higher than normal, and it's expected to rise another foot after midnight when high tide comes in. And this is all according to the National Weather Service. They're saying that the Potomac River, anywhere along its banks, is going to be a trouble spot until Wednesday morning. Take a look at Skyfox video of the Potomac over in Great Falls earlier, showing those powerful currents churning up by the 5 to 10 inches of rain that this area has received over the last 14 days. Then over in White's Ferry in Poolesville, Maryland, that's another trouble spot along the Potomac. Look how high the water is there, forcing local businesses to shut down until the water there recedes. No telling when, but that's a very dangerous situation over there as well. And then Once again, over in Laurel, Maryland, that's where the Little Patuxent River has broken open part of Route 198, and rainwater and debris has washed away the road there completely. That area will also be closed for some time. The National Weather Service says in some areas we are seeing the highest river levels since 1996. That's more than 20 years, and it could get worse overnight.
The rivers and freshwater flooding is the main cause of death in the DC metro area. Most of our deaths in our area are related to flooding, so we need to keep people aware of when the flooding is going to occur so they can plan ahead and stay safe. Any businesses and homeowners along the river should be aware of what the flood stage is, their location. That's the way they plan, so that they can make sure they can put their family to safety, go to upper levels, move to higher ground.
I also want to show you what the Georgetown waterfront looked like earlier today. Another big concern is these huge chunks of debris that are being pushed downriver at a pretty high rate of speed. Of course, a lot of people coming out here to take pictures of that. Again, because we're told that in this particular spot, this is the highest we've seen the water since 2014. And while it is really cool to come out and take pictures, guys, we've got to warn you that it is not safe at all to get near this water. Again, it's rushing very fast, and the National Weather Service also telling us it's not safe to be on the water in a boat or anything like that until at least Wednesday morning, when these flood warnings will finally expire. That's the very latest here at the Georgetown waterfront. Anjali Hemphill, Fox 5 Local News.
And we still have the outrageous drought taking place down in southern Colorado and New Mexico and Arizona area, right around the Four Corners. That super horrible drought, and we still have wildfires burning down there. Here's a couple pictures of that. Once again, there will be links in the description for you guys if you'd like to come check it out. But yeah, we've been having wildfires and severe droughts. Crews gain ground on New Mexico wildfire as Colorado blaze rages. So here's the second article. More than 1,000 evacuees from a wildfire in northern New Mexico allowed to return home on Monday, since Colorado apparently made some headway on this fire. But just keeping you posted on everything going on. So once again, another link in the description, so feel free to come check it out. Alright guys, I think I'm going to cut this video now. I think I covered just about everything that has happened over the weekend.